You're listening to Why You Should Delete LinkedIn and Start Again on episode 8 of Business Unplugged.
There's a massive problem on LinkedIn, Dave. What is it?
Reach has dropped enormously. It's crazy.
It's horrifying. This time last year, we put a video out, thousands of views. We'd made it.
We almost felt like people liked us.
Yeah, comments as well, positive ones is all we got. You got business just putting a video out is great. It's like, oh. But now, oh no, that's gone because they wanted to make it better for people with smaller followings like us. So they took away their reach, which makes a lot of sense. But
it's good for them.
Probably Microsoft for you.
Really bad for us.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But let's have a look at some of the stats behind LinkedIn, and let's hope maybe they can encourage us as to where the platform's going.
Ooh, look at those stats.
Firstly, LinkedIn are looking to be growing, and they want 3 billion users, which I thought was an insane amount.
That's half the planet.
Yeah, I googled it.
Facebook don't have that.
Because I thought, surely half the planet don't have jobs. But only 174 million people are unemployed at the moment.
Only 174 million people are unemployed worldwide?
Worldwide, yeah. I thought it'd be way more than that.
Well, surely children aren't working.
It just said 174 million unemployed, but then out of the people
and
that
you ran with it.
So I'm assuming that LinkedIn want pretty much every adult with a job / paperboy to be on LinkedIn. Yeah? 3 billion? Anyway, they're driven.
That's amazing.
They currently have 500 million members from whatever this website when that was made. So it might not be right now, but it's recently. So they're miles off. Interestingly, there are 40 million decision makers. And the way I say that's interesting is because that's only 8% of the people on there. So, again, LinkedIn isn't necessarily all about decision makers.
Where's everyone on LinkedIn from? I mean, really, where's predominantly from? The OECD countries, Europe, America?
America, yeah, Europe, sort of Australia maybe, and New Zealand.
And Asia's got
I'm not sure if Asia's on it. They've got their own stuff that's kept away from our prying eyes. So yeah, 8% of the people on it are decision makers, which again I was a little bit deflated by. I get posts from Indian engineers of all things. Somehow I'm in their loop, and I get these posts of things from India, especially showing scaffolding collapsing. Right.
So there must be an Asian component on there. India's a big part of LinkedIn, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't go too deep into the stats because I don't want to do too much research.
I want to do a LinkedIn.
All right,
special
well I'll run that down
India
next time. Anyway, this is the most shocking thing. We mentioned this in a vlog we did last week. Only 3 million users share content weekly, so 0.6% of people have ruined LinkedIn, is what I've written. What I mean is actually they post to LinkedIn. So it's really low, isn't it?
We're in that.
Yeah. But only 0.6% of people are weekly having their say, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This was my favourite one, and I even used a laughing emoji face at the end of this one. 91% of marketing executives list LinkedIn as the top place to find quality content.
I think they made that up.
I can't remember the last time I found anything quality on there. But yeah, so there's some stats about LinkedIn. And because of the reach and the crash and all these other things that are going on and feeling a bit disheartened with it, we thought maybe there's a better way of doing it. So we've got in a pro, haven't we?
And that pro is?
And his name is...
Do you have a jingle for him?
Oh,
You
yeah.
almost need a jingle.
We do.
LinkedIn, sweet. No holds bars opinion now locked. LinkedIn with Angus Grady. LinkedIn misbehaving gonna lock. Sweet. LinkedIn, delete it and start again. We're gonna lock. LinkedIn, Business Unplugged with Angus Grady now.
So this is Angus Grady. He's otherwise known as the LinkedIn Unlocker.
And also as the Silver Fox.
Well, you call him that. I don't know if anyone else does.
No, he is. He should be known as Silver Fox.
I'll ask his wife.
Look in a dictionary, you see a picture of him under Silver Fox.
He ran information departments for top 10 ad agencies back in the day. He was once mentioned in a Forbes article, positively. And yeah, he's a LinkedIn expert and trainer. We've had him on before.
All-round legend.
And he's going to teach us why you should quit LinkedIn and start again with his strategy to develop relationships and business.
I like him already. When people say Silver Fox, they think Angus Grady. I think that's the image they have in their head.
It used to be Clooney, but not anymore.
No.
Angabadang.
We shot this video with you a while ago. I think it sums you up nicely. We're going to play it on the video version. Whether or not it makes the audio version, I don't know because how it'll work. But let's just check that out.
I want to be on Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and you can't. You know, choose 2 or 3 and use them well. Is my considered view on this. Come on, frighten me. You can have secret boards. You can have open boards. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Great for driving traffic. People should use it more. Google Plus. We should just dim the lights now. What a shame. Great idea from Google, but I think terribly mismanaged. You know, there's only so many hours in a day to be confused in. I think there's an art to Instagram. You know, people just post their photos onto Instagram, but it's about sharing on Instagram, posting. It's about putting new URLs into your own biography in order to drive traffic somewhere. The most informed people are on Reddit. 90% of people don't ever use it, don't ever go on there. Great for SEO, it's great for traction. You can do so much more now with your YouTube channel. You can link it to your AdWords. You can then put, you know, YouTube cards. You know, great calls to action, which again drive traffic back to your website. Facebook's kind of like your friend next door. It's a noisy place. I just find it a little bit too noisy sometimes. I've got lots of people want to be my friend from far-flung places of the globe. If you've got a neurosis, get in on Facebook. Everybody's on there, you know. Oh, I feel sorry for Barbara. You know, her dog's too small compared to John's dog. And I won't say far-flung again because I can't. I don't even have a dog. I'm thinking of getting one. It's worked for me. Private groups are really good. You know, you can actually set up webinars and then drive people to a private group. Great for advertising. Brilliant. Reach target market easily. Cheap as chips. I recommend it. All of us want to be on everything, but that's not. It's like a product. A product for everyone is a product for no one. Looking after everyone's social media is nowhere where I want to be. Okay, I help people to tune in to the noise of like social media using Twitter and LinkedIn because those 2 are real powerful friends. Fuck off, I'm not doing your tweets. Why would I? Why would I? Because you can do them yourself. But I don't want to be like a lot of social media people. They are to social media what King Herod was to babysitting. Stick that on if you're brave enough.
Welcome, Angus Grady. You've had 2 double shot coffees.
I have.
You're fueled and ready.
I'm rocketed, yeah.
This is a very leading question, but we're going to get straight into it.
Okay.
What is wrong with LinkedIn?
But you know, there's a lot that's good with LinkedIn. It's a business critical tool. What I think is wrong with it is that people just don't use it properly.
So if you could pick one big no-no for people who are using LinkedIn right now and just say, let's stop it. Dan, stop it.
I'd say stop putting content out, basically.
And what makes it?
It makes it because it's pointless. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't solve a problem. It talks generally. It rehashes issues that are current and everything else. Amplify your value, don't broadcast your benefits. Some of the content on LinkedIn, you know, some of the content has no purpose other than to get people to actually reply to the content on LinkedIn. But it's this thing about stats as well. It's not about numbers. Nothing is about numbers on LinkedIn. If your phone isn't ringing or your email pinging as a result of something you've done on LinkedIn, then you're not doing it properly.
So let's move on to some positives now we've had a chance to vent, because it's important to vent sometimes. And you know what? If you have your own podcast, I think you should be allowed to vent. So if you don't like it, don't listen. Angus, why do you think people use LinkedIn? What are they expecting?
A couple of things. I think it's about putting their brand out there, making sure that their brand has a healthy reputation, lead generation, and you know, just basically making sure that they're promoting their services. But again, it's a combination. LinkedIn is like a 3D system. You know, it's not just about brands and about yourself. Although Tom Peters wrote a great piece in 1997 called "The Brand Called You" or "The Brand You," more relevant now than it was then, because I really believe that in 2019 it's not about the company you run. People buy you. People buy the service and what you do and the problem you solve and the way that you solve it. And you know, some people like working with me because I'm a bit left of field, a bit odd, and other people don't because they think I'm just a bit too left of field, a bit too odd. And I'm not saying I'm so wackily different. I'm not, but I have a different view on things that some other LinkedIn people do. But essentially, it's about their brand, it's about business development, and it's about
one of my
those
favourite
services out
comments from one of our clients, one of my favourite clients actually was like, I love working with you guys because you're weird like me.
Yeah.
Family. There's an identity there. It's like, look, we know what you're about rather than being vanilla.
And it's like the great Robin Williams quote, we should always preserve our little spark of madness.
Yeah,
And I think we all have a little spark of madness. And I think an awful lot of people who use social media, they try and be the same, and you can't be the same, and it's pointless. You have to have your point of difference.
I was about to ask you how you can do things differently and effectively, but you've covered that beautifully there.
So. I think that I really think that people have to look at it slightly differently, and for me, the way that people get connections on like LinkedIn and try and forge relationships, it's just like playing kiss chase with people that don't ever want to be,
snogged.
Snogged. I nearly said that, but you said it. They're never going to stumble in the playground. They're never going to do that, and I think that the standard way of doing it is kind of wrong.
Content. Whatever you do, don't say content. Content. Oh no! I just said content.
So because you're a guest, you can ban a word from society, and we'll put it in our word hall of shame. So far, the word content is banned. We're not allowed to say that on the show out of context.
Okay, go like that.
And it'll be the same to you. So Angus, if there's one word you could ban from the universe,
Or phrase.
Two, really. Can I ban passionate? People on LinkedIn are passionate about what they do. No, you're not. You just couldn't think of another word. The only P on LinkedIn is positioning. And get-go. What the heck is get-go? Is it a small lizard? Let's do this from the get-go.
It's a band from the 80s.
I'm kind of hearing it more now, like it's some sort of
I must be immune
phrase.
to hearing get-go.
You're not hanging around in the right places.
I'm not hanging around in the techie spaces.
But again, I get what you said earlier about the C word. Just some of the content is not content. It's just garbage. Content spelt wrongly. Isn't it? Garbage.
That's all right. Well, maybe we should put this into the rule where instead of saying content, you now have to say garbage instead. Let's change the rules of the game for this episode.
Defend it.
Yeah. Okay. So for the rest
I'll put out some garbage today. That's going to be hard to.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the show, you're not allowed to say content. You can say garbage instead, or nothing, and there's no passionate or the word get go. I don't remember the last time I said get go, but now I've said it. It's going to be like buses.
Because you're Angus Grady, we'll give you two that you can say.
Okay,
so
lovely.
passionate and get go. Excellent.
And then go.
They're out.
Cool.
Content. Whatever you do, don't say content. Content. Oh no! I just said content.
After everything we've spoken about, I'm not going to lie, it was getting to the point where I almost gave up in LinkedIn recently. And I thought, I don't want to give up because there's a man out there who can teach me a better way.
I nearly sang "Don't Give Up," but I can't think what it's from. It's probably some
Is that
cheesy
Kate
show.
Bush?
Could have been.
Don't give up.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm glad I didn't sing that.
Yeah. Me too.
So, I was going to give up, and I was getting fed up because the reach had crashed. And then I thought, I know, I've seen everything you post, and I'm not doing what you tell me to. And I thought, why don't I just do what Angus says? Because I've been chatting to other people who have a similar approach, and guess what? It sounds like it works.
Yeah.
So, what Angus is going to show us today is a system to follow to basically get LinkedIn working for your business.
Yeah.
And that's not all, because we're going to.
What else is it going to do?
Well, we're going to do it ourselves.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me, Dave.
So,
we're going to do it. So we're going to follow Angus's plan. I'm going to try and do it. I don't want to let Angus down here. So we're going to spend a month on his plan, and then we're going to report back and let you know what we got. So you see all this stuff on LinkedIn, and this is the way to do it. It's not, and then what happens is the people who say it works are generally the people selling the process.
Of course they are. They are the people that are selling a product, and the biggest sale that they've made is you buying their product to tell them how to do what they may not have done. It's like entrepreneurship.
Can we name it? Can we brand this?
No, I've never named it. I just call it the 4 seasons, the whole approach of what I do.
This is Unplugged with Angus Grady now.
If you're listening to this on the podcast, check out the links that are around this. Or just go to businessfilmbooth.com/business unplugged. We'll put some links in. We'll show you the videos of how we're going to do this. I'm going to make a screen grab of the entire thing will structure it as well for them if they want to follow the same system. Okay, Angus, all ears. What are we doing first?
Okay, well, profile. The whole point of your profile is it's kind of like it's your story. It's a landing page. It's something that shouldn't be set and forgotten about, set and neglect. It should be tweaked all the time. And it's a story of how your story, your services solve the problem that your ideal customer has. And your profile should be such that it attracts the best and repels the rest. You know, you only want blue suites coming to your profile. If you're getting red suites coming, you want to get rid of them.
Angus, is there a kind of easy way that people can test their profile if they think they've done it?
Well, if you want a tick box, do you have something in your banner that says what it is that you do?
Yeah.
Would somebody who works with you or knows you know you from just your banner? That's always an acid test. You know, if they look at the banner and think, well, that could be anybody, then you've got it wrong. Okay, so your brand in there, your logo and a phone number, and your value proposition, what it is you do. Once you've actually got that up and you've got some people coming to you, great, that's a useful start. Then you've got to audit your connections and see what colour suites you've got. And if they're not the blue suites that you need and they're more reds and yellows, ditch the yellows and start looking for blues. So start doing some searching. Save those searches offline so you can keep going back to them. You get something called the commercial limit that you don't want to hit. So essentially it's not many searches or many profile views. Yeah, and then what happens is that your results then get greyed out and they say these results are greyed out. Wouldn't it be a good idea to spend some money with us? Save that search and then start looking at them offline.
Okay, that makes sense. So now the scary bit. What about when we move on to connecting?
Yeah, I think that people play kiss chase for too long and they do this whole follow, comment, like, view profile, then they'll send them a private message. Thank you very much for connecting. It's really, you know, it works to a certain extent, but what people don't realise is that the messaging platform is something that you use proactively and not passively. You've got to kind of get involved with it. Now, my system involves sending postcards as part of the strategy I do, but to be clear about what I do, once I've found the person that I want to talk to, if they've then connected to me, 9 times out of 10 will send. I will then put up a small video saying thank you very much for connecting with me, da-di-da-di-da. You know, I'd love to have a chat on the telephone or over Zoom if it kind of suits you.
And we've actually got an example of this, haven't we? Because I deleted you from LinkedIn.
You did.
And you've sent me how it should be done.
Hello, Ed. It was really good to chat with you the other day, and and good to find out exactly what you guys do. I'd love to connect, and seeing as you're in video, I thought I'd use one of the videos which is what I normally do, send out a video anyway. So I personally don't need your services, but there's a couple of people who I'm connected to who just fall over to get what you guys are doing. So they could definitely use your PR and marketing skills. And I hope that we can connect, and look forward to catching up with you again in person. Take care. Bye-bye.
That definitely sticks out. It's not something I've ever received before. You know, it's got an impact there.
Because an awful lot of connection requests are either, I stumbled across your...
Yeah.
What do you mean you stumbled across? Well, you know what, were you just half drunk in the middle of the night and you decided to have a look and you just found me?
Something we suggest to all of our clients and anybody that'll listen to us, there's 3 things that go into content marketing, any content, and that is it's got to be informative, it's got to be actionable, it's got to be, it doesn't have to be, but it ought to be entertaining.
It
and
should
getting
be
a video
entertaining.
like that is all of those 3 things.
Yeah, and again,
a little tip.
I kind of err on the side of not being as entertaining as I could. Some of them I just go off on one, and I just go off on one, and I've dropped stuff, or the cat's jumped on the table, and I just think, I guess I'll just run with it. But basically, I try and be myself. A bit of the other word I don't like begins with A and has icity on the end.
Oh,
I know, what is that?
What word is that?
Authenticity.
Oh, I thought you could say audacity.
No.
Well, no,
Yeah,
Audacity's great.
It's great.
Have as much audacity as
the
you
point
like.
is, though, that the point of the video is to show people who you are straight away, and to and just to talk to them like you're talking to them as if you were meeting them or had met them, you know, and you kind of generally know them.
So I get it now. So if the profile's very clear, you know what is being bought, then by the time someone gets in touch with you, it's like, I know what they do.
Exactly.
Do I need it or not?
Exactly. There's no wishy-washy discovery stuff.
So what happens then? There's no response.
No response. I would then deploy Weapon 2, which is a handwritten postcard. And I would send some of these anyway. You know, I would send some of these anyway.
So these are the. I'm just showing the camera the handwritten postcards. On the front, we've got. We'll get these picture up of this online. It says, "What does your LinkedIn headline really say about you?" It's got Angus Grady, the LinkedIn locker. On the back, it's blank.
And I handwrite it. I then handwrite that card and put a stamp on it. And then so I put the address in one colour ink and a quick message in a different colour ink, so blue and black ink.
Sticks out.
I sometimes put a link on here to what I call a talking postcard. I'll record something on SoundCloud, keep it private, and say, Dave, I've sent you a connection request. You haven't got back to me. I've ironed your shirts, I've mowed your lawn, I've washed your car.
Don't make me send this by carrier pigeon.
Yeah. Don't make me come round. And again, really, really significant, because how many people get postcards?
What are you saying on it?
I'm just saying, hi, great to connect. Or if you haven't responded, I'll just say, look, Ed, it's been a week now and you've not responded to my connection request. I know that you're busy, but again, it just shows as well that people aren't on LinkedIn all the time. That's then a prompt for you to think, damn, I better look to see what that connection request is. And hopefully you'll see the video.
Yeah.
And you'll go, wow, I've had a postcard. I've got a connection request that has a video on it. Brilliant. Then when you accept the video, or either you accept the connection request, I will then send you an audio message on LinkedIn. At this point, I've not liked a jot of what you've done. So the audio message will be, Ed, thank you very much for accepting finally. You've obviously got the postcard. That prompted you. I might say, you know, actually that was a cracking article. And if I do ever say that to somebody, it's because I really believe it. Not because I'm trying to fangirl the people into saying, oh, wow, you wonder. Because I know that they're busy. They're running their business. I respect that. And I might be able to help them get to more people to run their business better.
On average, how many people don't respond to the postcard?
Quite a lot. A lot. Yeah. No, actually, I send probably 10 a week, and I probably get 6, 7, so 60-70% respond. They won't email. I get very little email on the back of this. It's somebody picking up the blooming phone.
I want to know about the next step.
My next thing is to say, well, if you've learnt something just on me trying to talk to you, imagine what a LinkedIn surgery could do for you, because I know that you're busy. I know that you want to get new clients. We all do, because we're in business. None of us want to be doing this till we're 100 years old. We all want to be on a beach as quick as we can.
This is kind of on behalf of the more shy and retiring types out there, because not everybody feels like it's okay to go, for want of a better word, more aggressively after prospects. And yet, and this is the thing, I think, how to reassure people that aren't so keen on this right now, that not only this works, but then on the receiving end, it feels like good service if done right.
It feels like, yeah, exactly. And we've got to be less English about this, and we've got to be less British about the fact that we're, terribly reserved. And I've already spoken to Ed, or rather, I've sent Ed a like or two, and if Ed doesn't want to come back to me, well, I respect Ed for that. Well, I'm sorry, but life's too blooming short. The point is, we're all running businesses, and if my solution helps your business, then you've got to be slightly more pushy about it, but not being nothing I do is ever aggressive.
We're going to leave that there, and what I'm going to do, so by the time this goes out, I should have been doing this for a week or so already, and we're going to fill in the gaps, we're going to document it, and we're going to do the 4 seasons method, branded live on this show.
Okay, so let's just make sure that we know what the 4 seasons are. It's create, and that's create your own persona and your profile. Create an ideal client list or avatar without going mad. Some people do this where they have to know what the person's called, where they live, and how many. I mean, forget it. For me, it's what problems that person has. So that's create. Connect. First part of connect is to audit what you've already got, and then start thinking, who is it that I need to be talking to? Who is it from the create side of it that I need to be talking to? Converse, which is like the messaging, which is this postcard system, which is the audio system, and of course reading some of their content, because if they want to come,
oh, you said it,
the G word, they have read the G stuff, okay, and then the convert, so create, connect, converse, convert, and the conversion isn't a hard sell. It's a soft move from the solution, from the problem, from the solution. So social solving, not social selling.
So that brings us on to the part of the show which lets you sell your services, Angus. And But obviously you have to sell it to a 5-year-old because it would be
5-year-old.
Yes.
The average age of a LinkedIn user.
Yeah.
It's most of our audience.
Yeah.
That's true.
In fact, that's top end, isn't it? Okay.
You can just get going if you want. You understand the premise, right?
I do.
You can't use the C word, the G word, or the GG word, but otherwise, go for it.
Can you pitch to a 5-year-old, maybe even a 10-year-old, perhaps even a 13-year-old? We're not sure yet. Can you pitch to a 5-year-old, or maybe a 10-year-old, even maybe a 13-year-old? We make this up on the spot.
You want to buy yourself a new bike, and the only way you can do that is to get some more money. You know that your friends want to buy some sweets, but they don't like yellow sweets, and the blue sweets are the ones that are going to be more expensive. So I help you sell more blue sweets to your friends so you can buy your bike.
Brilliant. You've just created a whole economy of young entrepreneurs.
Selling bikes.
In 18 to 20 years,
Sweets.
In 18 to 20 years, there'll be clients of yours.
Yeah,
That's,
there'll be a
get in
Gary
early.
V. There'll be a Gary V. equivalent said, I heard Angus Grady back in 2019, and I started selling sweets.
The next Mark Zuckerberg will be like, yeah, he changed my life on that podcast.
They won't refer to you as Angus Grady. They'll refer to you as the Silver Fox.
Sherbet dib dab bang.
Yeah. What sweet spikes and LinkedIn. It's the perfect end to a show.
It's been a pleasure.
Do you know, I just love what you guys do, and being a part of it is just fantastic, I have to say.
You're always generous with both your time and your knowledge, so thank you very much. It's great to have you.
Good. Content does not make the reader content. Content does not make the reader content. Content does not make the reader content. If your phone isn't ringing or your email pinging, content does not make the reader pinging. Content does not make the reader pinging. Content does not make the reader pinging. Attracts the best and repels the rest. Brand not bland. Brand not bland. Isn't that an animal? Brand not bland. Brand not bland. Isn't that an animal? Chunking mud at the wall and some of it will stick. Chunking mud at the wall. My name's Nigel. Chunking mud at the wall. My name's Nigel. I've worked in 4 companies. I'm terribly important and lovely. Forget it. Do videos in cars. Do videos in cars. Do videos in cars. Content does not make the reader content. Passionate websites. Most sites are missing one letter, and it's an H.
If you want to join in what we're doing, there'll be a set of instructions on the site. So go to businessfilmbooth.com/business unplugged. That's a really long URL. Maybe we'll buy Business Unplugged when we've got money. Can afford that 99p. So yeah, if you want to join in, we'll do it step by step with us. See if it works for you. See if it can sort of give you hope in LinkedIn, the dying star of social media, but not anymore. If you'd like some help with your LinkedIn and you want to get in touch with Angus after listening to that, and I really recommend that you do, then just go to LinkedIn, type in LinkedIn Unlocker, and his profile's there. Trust me, you'll see it sticks out like a sore thumb. Angus Grady. Click on it, connect, and get a conversation going. If you want to come on the show and you think you've got some interesting to say for SMEs out there, then feel free to email us. It's unplugged@gmail.com. And if you'd like to join in the LinkedIn challenge with us, check out the show notes and any other links we've spoken about today, go to businessfilmbooth.com/business unplugged. And then we'll put some links there that will drive you towards the content of episode 8. Thanks for listening.